Hello, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the new follow, by the way. Welcome in. So today we're doing some PNGTuber rigging. We're doing a new rig in RahiTuber, and I thought this would actually be quite a good thing to do, considering we've had some updates to RahiTuber, and the last time I did this was on quite an older version, so yeah. So, the model we are rigging today is Queenie, and if you don't know QueenieVT, they have a very cool little channel on Twitch, which is generally just friendly vibes, a lot of Monster Hunter, sometimes some art, sometimes some party games, that sort of thing. But they've been very friendly to me recently, and I thought I'd do this as a present, so we're going to do that. So I've made my new project file. I'll just start adding layers. I've already split up their existing, so they sent me their existing sprites, and I've split them up into many layers, and we're going to put them all together now and try and get it looking nice. Start with the torso. Name my layer torso. Oh, whoops. I was moving my keyboard and it caught the escape key on something. Right. So that is going to be fairly simple, to be honest. That's not really going to do much. Although I think I will have it so that it's going to move a little bit when we talk. So I turn that off. Sorry, turn that on to loudness. And we're going to... Oh, it's using the wrong microphone on this. Here we go. Okay, so it's going to move upwards a little bit, and I'm going to smooth this as well. Smooth it to like 50. So it's just going to softly bounce up and down a little bit, because that will add some of the motion to all the other things we're doing. Okay, now let's have the neck, which is the next thing. I am being observed by the Stone Fox plushies. Do not resist. Okay, I won't. I'm not resisting. This looks incredibly cursed right now. Because all we've got is the neck. But that's going to attach to the torso. I might fiddle with the physics about that later. Let's quickly add the head before it gets horrible. Let's go there. Head goes there, so that's going to inherit from the neck. Slap some shades on it. Yeah, it's going to look like Marcus the Worm. Okay, head is there. And what I'm doing each time is I'm adding in a layer and then I'm inheriting it from the previous body part. So we're doing this motion inherit thing where when you select one in here, it will just take the movement from whichever layer you pick. This one is going to be the eye. That's going to go actually below the head. And that takes the motion from the head. Hey Queenie, how's it going? Welcome in. Hope you're doing good. I finished splitting up all the sprites, so now there's a very long list of sprites. So yeah, this is how you would have some props. You basically add them in as a layer, and then you do the you do this motion inherit thing where you pick which layer it connects to. Sorry, don't say sorry. It's been fun. I've had fun, like and you know the list of layers is like my fault because I chose to split it up that much. Because I wanted to have lots of cool moving parts and stuff. So actually we can put a bit of tracking on this as well. If I turn on tracking, now the eye can move with the mouse, although it needs to not move that far. So I need to put a limit on that. Let's say, how far is that? It's probably half of this, well, maybe 30. Oh, no, it's still a bit too much. Your artist wasn't sure if that was possible since I haven't messed with it. Yeah, you can do quite a lot in this. It's actually, let me just quickly adjust the position on that. Just because then it's gonna look a bit better. So yeah, we got moving eye. So that's just by ticking this tracking thing here. I've got all the default mouse tracking settings, so it's basically just my whole monitor. But I can combine it with controller as well. Yippee, head pats. Yay. Okay. Just going to have a save. The other thing with RahiTuber is it doesn't have undo. So if you like what you've got, just save regularly and then you can reload it if you mess something up. It's sort of like a manual undo, I guess. Right. What's next? Back to work. Okay, have fun. We have jaw pieces. That's going to go below the head as well. And it will inherit from the head. Maximum underbite, yeah. And what I'm going to do here, actually, let me show the layer bounds. So I want to put the pivot point for the jaw like there, basically. And then we're going to have some talking motion, but without the movement. We're going to rotate it. That's too much. Maybe like -5, something small. And then I'm going to smooth the talking input to be more like 5, yeah. 5 is good. Beep, 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 beep. Maybe we want -10. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, that'll do for now. And we can add more motion to things as well later. So that is the jaw. And we're also going to have the back of the jaw, which is going to have to go below. Lizard. Oh, it also needs to go below the eye. All of these need to go above the jaw stuff. There we go. Okay, so we got jaw, and then in front of that, so jaw, back, we're also going to have a tongue. And if my mouth will work, I meant to say tongue. There we go. Ba 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 ba. Now you can lick your eyeball. Yeah. From the inside of your head. So what I've been doing is I've just been duplicating the jaw layer that I already set up, which is why everything just automatically started moving with the jaw there. But I'm going to actually change that for the tongue. So I'm going to inherit motion from the back jaw. And we're going to have the pivot point is going to be like at the base of the tongue, so like there. And we're going to have a little bit of drag on this. So I want no distance limit, so as in the distance limited to 0, so it can't actually move away from that. But then when I add some drag, we should get some rotation effect. If I go la 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 la, that's kind of working. I'm ignoring the pivots as well, and the weight direction is that way. La la la, la 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 la. Yeah, it kind of works. La la la, la 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 la. Do do do. Maybe too much drag. Do 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 do. Possibly too much movement overall, but do do do. Do 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 do. La 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 la. Yeah, it's enough to be. It's enough to be a little bit of have a little bit of movement. Maybe I can really. Wait, hang on. Get rid of drag. If I just do spring, do 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 do. La 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 la. La 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 la. Okay, that's probably too much. Do 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 like that, and then if I add a little bit of drag in, it should hopefully smooth that out. Dee 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 dee. La 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 la. Okay, that's good, and I'm just going to reduce the rotation effect, so down to like. Okay, that's much better. Oh, that's a lot. That's good actually. If I increase the drag up to like 97. Do do do. You can lick your chin, yeah. Okay, that's. You can probably tweak that later, but that's something. Just as a little taster of the physics settings. Okay, so currently Queenie is bald. Let's add in the horns and things. That is going to be with a pivot point like up there, and it will inherit from the head. And we can do a little bit of drag on this one too. Ignore pivots, weight directions like top diagonal. And a rotation effect. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's have a spring on that too. In fact, I'm just going to bump these all the way up and then reduce this. So do do do. Maybe even more. Let's go crazy with it. Do. Okay, it's possibly too much. Wiggle. Doing. Doing, doing, doing. I like that. The springy and wiggly. We can also have some stretch on this. So I add that into now. Should hopefully look a little bit more natural with the squash and stretch. Maybe I need to go a bit harder with that. Ba ba ba. Yeah, cute. It's true that there's not really much of a limit to how much squish we can have, considering this is a jelly slime dragon. So that's two squishy things right in the name right there. So okay, so that's one horn. I'm going to duplicate that and grab the next sprite, and then move the pivot point so that it matches up. That's the little orange dot that's here. So there's that one. I'm going to duplicate it again and do the third horn. And then that goes there. Although the weight direction is more like downwards diagonal there. Yay, cool. In fact, for this one, it's actually more of a horizontal thing. Okay, this one is going to be horn L3. Save. And I also did the same thing for the chin doodlies. So that is going to be, actually that needs to be all the way down next to the jaw. I think I called it chin something now. Chin, there. Yeah, that's what I called it. Okay, so that needs to inherit from the jaw instead. And then we need to put the pivot point in the right place. Okay, so that should, whoa, that's very floppy. Maybe that's too much, I don't know. I don't know how floppy we're going for, really. Let me just reduce the rotation effect a bit. Let's go to that. Well, that's pretty good. You're wheezing? Because of the absolute floppiness of that chin part there. All right, so we got 2. And I'm going to do another one. So I'm just adjusting the pivot point to the point where they would naturally attach, essentially. So yeah, I also had these with the wrong weight direction, which wouldn't help. Okay, so that's probably pretty good. I'm going to actually bump up the rotation effect on some of these again. That's not so bad. Let's go with quite a lot of drag and spring just to help with the smoothness of it. And then I'm going to take the strength down a little bit to like 5 on the stretch. And that's probably a better... Okay, maybe that's too much drag. Let's go with less, more like that, 80. 80 is pretty good. Okay, what if we do 80 on both? Yeah, just enough to look kind of natural, and then, yeah, cool. All right, I'll copy that to the other ones now. And then I had something like the 0.3 on here. Doop-a-doop-a-dee. Right, so that's... I think because it's so close to the pivot point here, it's just not really... Yeah, kinda. There wasn't a category that's close enough to what I want, but we're basically doing RahiTuber rigging today. Okay, so that should hopefully look fairly consistent across all of them now. Yeah, just need a little bit more. Hang on, what did I have on chin L2? 58 for the rotation effect. Let's copy that on both. Okay, that should hopefully look a bit more consistent. Ba ba ba. Yeah, nice. That'll do. Right, so what I did do was I was kind of lazy, and the horns and the chin things are all just the same on both sides, so I'm just going to copy them and put them behind the head. So that's going to go down there. Oh, in fact, it needs to go all the way down at the back. Oh, it needs to even go behind the neck, to be honest. So that goes down there, and then I'm just going to adjust the positions. To get it roughly where it should be, because then the benefit of that is that it's already set up as well. So there we go. That's fairly good. Haven't done the chin yet, but that's looking good already, I think. Oh, didn't mean to copy it. I actually just want to... Probably can't see it much anyway, but I'm going to put it in the right place. Because I know roughly where it should be. Yeah. It's mostly hidden behind everything. You can just see a little bit of it peeking out there, but that'll do. Right, so that is now horn R1. Cool. Tell you what, actually, on the torso, I might do a different motion. Whoa, that's too much. That's more going to be something like just a little bit of wobbling, and then we've got the that's how you fly. Yeah, you helicopter the horns. And actually, we can have some idle motion too. Get rid of that and just have the... Okay, let's get rid of the... Maybe that needs to go down to 0.02 or something. And we'll do the pivot point at the bottom. Yeah, that's pretty good. There we go. Just a little bit of breathing motion. I think that's quite nice. Okay, I need to do the chin thingies. That goes behind the jaw. Dee, 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 doo, doo, doo. Yeah, okay. I think that's fairly good. I just hide all the layer bounds and things. We got Queenie without arms or wings. I did actually add a different version of the tongue as well. Let's add that in. Where is this? That goes there. It's going to go up there. Okay, so we're not having any drag or spring on this because it kind of needs to stay still relative to the jaw. But the permablep, indeed. There is also like this gap with the jaw that I need to sort out as well. Because we want a talk sprite on the front of the jaw, so that this would be the talk sprite. Let's have that there. But then the idle sprite should have this sort of the gap closed up, really. But I haven't done that yet. We are well, not early drawing. To be honest, actually, I did get up early because I was my wife has gone to work at like 7 in the morning. But I did spend a little bit of time before stream just finishing splitting out some of these. Okay, let's stick the arms on. In fact, that can be. I'll take that a copy of the neck, and I'll just do the shoulders. Doink. Yeah, store. Yeah, I dissected Queenie. It was very cursed when we only had the torso and the neck because it just kind of looked like Marcus the Worm. Cut our Queenie into pieces. This is the RahiTube. Name your layers, people. Okay, and you notice I'm saving a lot. Just because each time you get something you like, you should save it. Otherwise, it might disappear if you mess something up. So if you save it regularly, you can just reload. Okay, I need arm. So far, I've only actually cut apart the gaming arms, so I'm going to be doing those and then I'll do the rest at a later time. Well, this is correct, but also not. Okay, where's the pivot point for this one? That's got to go like there. Meh. Hey Angie, how's it going? This one's going to be the front of that arm. And I did cheekily just keep the thumb from the other hand, just so that it's not going to get left behind when the arm moves. It works, so blah. Otherwise good. Nice. Yeah, hope work is going okay though. Let's get the pivot point for this one in the right place. It's like down there or something. Basically. And then I'm going to put a little bit of motion drag on these. Yeah, so I'm taking the distance limit to 0 because it stops it from moving away from that sort of pinned pivot point. And then we can add in like a rotation effect so that it will slowly just sort of move with everything else. I put a bit more drag on it. Loads of drag, which basically a drag value of 1 means that it will never catch up to where it's meant to be. Working on silly adoptables between comms. Nice. I'm going to go with 0.8 again. And maybe take the rotation limit down. Oh, I need to ignore pivots. That's probably part of the reason it's being so odd. So this ignore pivots is essentially, it's a holdover from the old version of how the physics worked, where it basically tries to guess where the weight direction is based on where you've put the pivot, which sort of makes sense as long as you've got no transparent space in your layers, but if you have, then it doesn't make sense. So, yeah. You're first. Yeah, you're definitely first. %1000%. Yeah, baby. Okay, what rotation effect did I have on the other one? So I should actually type these to... Okay, 0.3. Nice. Just to keep them consistent, because it's easier to make things line up if you sort of keep a consistent effect on. Yeah, I think that's fairly good. Yeah, I am hot dog now. Right, I'm going to duplicate those and stick them behind everything for the other arm. Oh yeah, we need another shoulder as well. Shoulder R. Arm L2 will become arm R2. Arm L1 will become arm R1. Okay, so obviously all the pivot points are in the wrong place right now. Let me just hide these ones so I can see what I'm doing. Oh, that's weird. Oh, because it's still inheriting from arm L1, that's why. Arm R1 is going to be this one. Where is that? Oh, I haven't renamed it yet. Okay. So I need to put my pivot points in the right place again. My arm! I know, sorry. Okay, that's going to go up there. And then this one's going to go like there-ish. You're being rigged! I'm tired, it's 5 AM. Welcome back, Adam and Absinthe. Yeah, I'm doing a Queenie rig. Just as a kind of a present for Queenie for being cool. Okay, so these should all nicely line up now. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so the last thing to add is the wings. So that is I'm just gonna use another neck copy and do it that way. What kind of rigging is it? Is it like face tracking? So it's just audio tracking, but with a bit of mouse tracking on the eyeball. I can add some other mouse tracking to the rest of the model as well at some point. But yeah, RahiTuber doesn't actually have phase tracking built in. Hey Sniper Kit, how's it going? If you wish to play a little Bionicle meme, you can use the I'm new command. But yeah, welcome in. That is wing L1.
It was you who were following me.
We were?
We were. Okay, so that's going there. Actually, it needs to go below the neck and the torso. I need to rename these as well. That's shoulder R. That's arm R1. Wait, oh no, that was arm R2. Hey Shiatori, how's it going? You like my hot dog costume? Thank you. It was forced upon me. No, not really. It was a meme. I think it came from it was when I streamed Lego Universe with Chocky Plays, and there's a hot dog costume in that, and somebody was like, you have to wear a hot dog costume now, and I was like, oh, okay. What are your preferred hot dog toppings? I like onions, mustard, and ketchup. I'm a bit of a standard boring hot dog person. Can't beat a bit of mustard and ketchup. But the onions have to be nice and caramelized. Don't like raw onions. Horrible. Horrible! Okay, where was I? I was doing a wing. There we are. Okay, let's have another copy of that. And that's going to inherit from the other wing part. And then that's going to be... What, Sniper? What are you talking about? That is crazy. Okay, we've got some different parts of the wing as well, because I want them all to move. Hot dog was looking a bit sus. Hey! Crunched wings. I crunched them up into little pieces. I'm going to name these consistently to the sprites. Casting the crunchification ray on Queenie. Yeah. Okay, that is going to inherit from wing LB. And that's going to be the next little bit. Oh wait, that's actually the wrong one. B2 is the next one. Get crunchified. Okay, so now we have all the little bits. Let's sort the pivots out. For this one, okay, that one's got the pivot in the right place already. This one needs to go up a bit to about there. And that one needs to go all the way to the top. Okay, so now I can put some movement on. This one, I'm basically going to have an idle motion on all of these. So let's go with, okay, not the scaling. Get rid of that. No scale, please, or movement. I just want rotation. Should probably go to bed. Nice to pop in and say hi. Yeah, nice to see you. Thanks for popping in. Okay, let's go with like -8, just to keep it simple. Okay, wing LA is done. Wing LB is going to have also some idle motion. How complicated is this model? Every individual wing finger. I wanted it to like right on a snoot. Yeah, you got me. You got me. It's not every individual wing finger. I just wanted to have some nice looking movement with the wings sort of expanding a little bit. And I'm going to sync that to the other wing layer. Oh yeah, that's good. You're squeeing. Good. I will also squee. Whee! Okay, this one I'm going to rename it wing LB1. Which is wrong compared to the sprite names, but I feel like actually it makes more sense to have the closest one, 1 and then 2. So, idle motion. Sync that to wing LA as well. Cool. So that's going to do that. Okay. And then the next bit is going to sync to that same base wing layer. So what I'm doing here, so I should actually explain this. Because we've got a motion inherit, then this becomes locked, so you don't have any individual motion messing up your motion link settings to start with. But if you want to, you can unlock this and then add extra idle motion or talking motion on top. So we're doing some idle motion here, which is what this button is. I just ticked that to quickly turn on these settings. And then I'm resetting these to 0 and syncing it to the base wing piece so that they all move together. Oh, that's the wrong direction. And yeah, now they all move together. So we've got this wing that opens and closes a little bit. Yeah, cool. So the other thing is I can still have a bit of drag and spring on the motion inherit, so I might do that on this one, where we'll have some little bit of drag and spring. Let's go 0.8 on both. Doopa doopa doo, and then some rotation effect, a little bit of stretching as well. Okay, that's too much spring. In fact, it's probably too much of everything. So try, maybe this is a bit better. Yeah, so that's kind of looking okay. Saving that. I'm actually going to make a folder here, and I'm going to put the wing stuff in that, so that's going to be called Wing L. So those are all in that folder. I can just copy this folder. That's going to be Wing R. And then we have to move some layers around a little bit. So Wing R is actually going to be below the other wing. And everything has to move over a little bit. So no idea if that actually matches up. I might have to just, whoa, hang on. I just wanted to make this a little bit, let's make it kind of transparent so I can see what's going on. Okay. This one is going to also go over there. So pretty much the same. I might just rotate it slightly to add a little bit of interest onto that. Yeah, something like that, I think. Okay, that's got to go. Oh, that's inheriting from the wrong piece. So that's wing LB copy I need. Yeah, okay, now that makes more sense. That means this one's also still inheriting from the other bit. Yeah. So from the copy, good. That's got to inherit from the copy as well. Okay, so hopefully we should have that looking fairly good. Just need to adjust this a little bit. In fact, I might actually need to edit the sprites a bit because I can see there's some pink from the wing lining kind of peeking out from behind that, so yeah, I'll have to edit that. But that's okay, that's easily done. In fact, I can do it right now. So how about if I go in here and on the wing piece, which bit is it? That one. So this one actually needs to have some of the line removed at the top. That's more like that, and then this is not a commission, it's a present. I'd like to do basically. I like to just do these sorts of things for friends sometimes, and I enjoy making RahiTuber rigs. So for me, it's fun. So like for friends, I'm more than happy to just do one for free. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like the phonemes. That should be all right. Like that. So just need to show those again. And then I think I can just re-export. So layer, export group, save group layers. That's going in sprites. Queenie.png. Doink. Right, so if I save this and reload, we should get the updated sprites. Yeah, we do. Cool. So now the there's no little bits of wing lining poking out there. That's good. The wings, yeah, the wings being rigged was something I wanted to do. I thought that would be really cute. Right, let me just make the torso not transparent anymore. I might also, for these, just tint them a little bit grey, just to help them distinguish from the other parts. There we go. You fear how big the magnet you're making. This is the thing as well, is that it's not so much of a gift, it's more of an art trade, because Queenie is also making a thing with Edie on it. So I figured I might as well. Right, so I think I might also add that same tint to the chin bits as well. Cool. Okay, so that's basically it for the sprites I have. There is some more animations, like with different arm pieces and stuff, that needs to be done. Not sure if I'm going to do those on stream or not. Let's have a look at the motion though, because I feel like we can get this even more squishy and bouncy. If I can make my mouth do the thing where I talk and say words. Put the neck pivot point roughly there. More squish, indeed, indeed. So let's go. Okay, so we have hopefully some squish on the head. Yeah, that's happening a little bit. So we should get a little bit of bounce going on there. Let's increase that. to like 5. Oh, that's pretty cool. I have seen. I might have forgotten. But yeah. So squishy. Yeah, so I think that, wow, that actually helps quite a lot. Like, that makes everything move much more squishy. But I can also add some rotation on head, I think. Let's go do that. Queenie Motion Sickness Edition. Hey! If Queenie wants motion sickness in their model, then they can have it. Just moving the chin pieces behind the neck there so that they don't overlap wrongly. Cool. Oh yeah, the other thing I need to do is do like an alternate jaw sprite so that the mouth actually closes when you're not talking. Right, so the head thing I was going to do just now. Let's do, if I get the pivot point in the right place. Let's have a little bit of delay on this one too. And we're going to do some rotation effect. Hey, that's pretty cool. And I think also we can do a little bit of motion on the tongue. Maybe not quite like that, but I'm thinking something more like that. Perhaps a bit less thingy. What am I doing? What am I talking about? Also, I'm going to take the talking thing up here on the body. No, wait, I just need to turn off the smooth input. There we go. Yeah, because now it'll do the bounce while you're talking and stop when you're not talking, which is what we wanted. So yeah, I feel like this is fairly good. We can do probably some more motion on the. I think the jaw is a bit odd. So actually, I do need to just make that sprite. Let me do that. Where we just have a copy of that for not talking. Because yeah, it needs to go like and close that gap up. Hey, welcome new follower. How's it going? Always appreciate a new follow. I do have my tablet here, but I couldn't be bothered, so I'm using the mouse. It doesn't fit nicely on my desk. The other thing with the tongue is I think that we can actually do this slightly differently, where we take some of this line away. Just so that it stays looking good when we shut the mouth. Because I think if we do the open jaw, yeah, that actually kind of lines up with the existing tongue piece in there. So you can't really tell. Yeah. Good. That'll do. Let's draw that one out. I wish Critter would remember the saving settings for every time I export the group layers, because it just forgets every single time, and you have to type in the export path every time. Right, so saving this and reloading. Okay, so we got this there, and then on the front jaw, the idle sprite, it's going to be your front idle. Okay, so yeah, that looks a lot better. Do we think the blep should go away when we talk as well? I'm wondering. So yeah, so then when you talk, you've got the tongue flapping around inside the mouth, and it comes back out. Oh, unless actually I can do a thing here. So we do smooth tint on that, so it will fade out, but also on the talking motion, if I just say talking should, per loudness, just scale it all the way to nothing, and rotate it into the mouth, so it kind of disappears and then pokes back out. Ba 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 ba. Is it? Blah blah blah. Yeah. I feel like that's quite good. I think I didn't need to make it black and transparent, so yeah. So it should just disappear and then zoop. Blah la 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 zoop. Yeah, cool. Okay, so I got through that a lot quicker than I thought I would. I think it's only been like an hour. So yeah, that's pretty good. I think I'm gonna keep tweaking this off stream, I reckon, but I think I need to do more sprites on it, for the arms and stuff. But yeah. Let's hide away the layer bounds. Very squishy. Yeah, so there's actually, Queenie actually did an animation for the gaming hands, so I need to add that in. And there's a bunch of other stuff with the arms as well, like jazz hands and stuff. So I'll do those, but I haven't done the sprites for them yet. So yeah. Oh, tell you what. Actually, we can do a little bit more mouse tracking on the whole body, I think. So let's do on the torso. Tracking can have. Oh, not quite as much as that. That's a bit too much. So we're going to really smooth it out. And then we're going to have maybe only 20, 10. Queenie can headbang, yeah. Oh, that's true. We can do this. I take the smooth down to like 0.5. That's a cool option. We can also do a little bit of rotation. That's maybe it's slightly too much. It's making everything super jiggly, but on the other hand, I kind of like it. Jiggly, indeed. That's true. You are jiggly. Maybe it's slightly too much when the horns are doing this though. Slapping noises. I feel like this is actually more of a problem with the horns than anything else, so I'm just gonna like try and sort those out. They're cool, but they're like, it's the way they're flinging around wildly, which is maybe slightly too much, but it's not too bad. Should just make, I mean, so like RahiTuber is kind of bridging the gap between VTuber and PNGTuber at this point anyway. It's essentially it's like mini live 2D. It's got a lot of things that make it look like a live 2D model, but without the without quite as much fine control as Live 2D has. But yeah. I feel like that's a bit more calm. It's quite good. You want to learn Live 2D, you should start right. That's an interesting idea. It's because, yeah, to be honest, before I did my PNGTuber, I actually made a Live 2D model, so I have sort of absorbed some of the theory behind it without all the extra rigging stuff like behind layers to help it look 3D. You can have behind and there's a lot of blend modes on this that you can change, but also I don't know if you've seen Ida, who was in chat right at the start. Ida Diaz has a video where she has some she set up a model in RahiTuber with sort of textured layers for the face patterns clipped to the shape of the head, and then like tracked on the mouse. So when she moved the mouse, it looked like the head was turning in 3D, which is really cool. I'll have to find that video. Oh wait, hang on. I think I can actually just, because I sent it to somebody else very recently. That's the wrong one. No. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I can just put it on here. Forgot I can do that. Same on Star Wars. Yes, of course. Yeah. You can do 3 layers of nose shape. Yeah. But if you can see how like the coloured patches on the side of the face are like clipped to the shape of the head. But yeah, you can do quite a lot. I'm just working with what I did. I didn't want to spend like weeks doing that with Queenies, so we could we've gone for a slightly more simple model on this one, but still with a lot of motion, which is nice. Right, let me finish sorting out the physics and making them a bit more consistent. Okay. Cool. Okay, that's a bit less. It looks a bit less glitchy now. So that's what I was going for. It was sort of glitching a bit before. Also, I seem to have. There's a bit of paint on one of these layers that's like hiding out behind this wing. So I need to go fix that. But yeah, there we go. You wanted to remake Bongo Cat for Rahi recently, but then reminded yourself that Bongo Cat already exists and you don't want to rig 102 hand positions. 102? Wow. That's a lot. Bug so baffled that they had to say it twice. Wait, so did you rig every potential position on which to hit a bongo? Because like that is insane. Bruh. You looked at doing it briefly. Wow, okay. Alright, so currently this model takes up 91 megabytes, but we have many layers, all with loads of unused transparent pixels, and all of that takes up space in the memory. So what I'm going to do here is this: what you should do when you've got to a point where you like your model, keep this version, because this is the version that you want to edit, and it makes it easier to still chuck things in from your original canvas and have it land in the right place. But when you are done and you want to start using it properly, you should optimize it. So I'm ticking this box where I actually used the ignore pivots option on all the physics I set up in this anyway, but if you hadn't, ticking this box would store the old pivot point so that the physics stays the way you set it up. I'm going to optimize this now. So we're going to save this as QueenieOpt. Yeah, QueenieOpt, and then save it. Now all the extra transparent space has been cropped away. So we should see some memory dropping on that now. I'm just going to exit this and restart it. All right, yeah. So it's gone from 90 megabytes down to about 60 megabytes, which is pretty good. So yeah, it's a decent thing to try. And that's how much memory all your empty transparent pixels are using up. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's good for this model for now. I need to sit on it a bit and just play with it and try and tweak it and polish it up, but I'm not going to do that on stream because it's going to take ages. So what I might do now is switch to a bit of Tomodachi Life, because it's been a while and I'm not actually I'm going to be away, so I won't get a stream later this week. So this is my only stream this week, so I might as well try and jump in with some Tomodachi while I get the chance. But yeah, I'm going to call it good here for now. And I'll do a bit more polishing later. All right, cool. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab a snack and a drink and the Switch so that I can play Tomodachi Life. So I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, bye-bye.